Well, I think the main takeaway is that Judge Kavanaugh, he is performing well. I mean, Democrats haven't made any real headway in tripping him up on any of the major issues. I mean, he is explaining his past cases. Remember, he was a federal appeals court judge for 12 years, and it's almost like he's giving a legal seminar on these areas of the law, whether it's affirmative action or executive power. I mean, in fact, one Republican senator told me during a break that he thought Judge Kavanaugh was doing better than even Chief Justice John Roberts did when he was up here for his confirmation hearing. So what we saw today was Democrats that were focused a lot more on process. And, the Republicans are trying to speed things up too much in emails that they wanted released. But I think in their questions, senators from both sides, you could really have this sense that they think that Judge Kavanaugh is going to get voted out of this committee, and ultimately he's going to be confirmed by the Senate and the state Supreme Court. Jeff?
Okay, Jen Crawford, thanks very much. Hurricane Florence, the first major storm in the Atlantic this year, was downgraded today to a Category 1 that is expected to regain strength next week. Tonight, Florence is about 1,000 miles off Bermuda. Each line on this map represents a different potential path for Florence. You can see a wide range. Several miles out tonight show it could hit the East Coast next week. An Afghan police officer shot and killed 8 colleagues today, the latest insider attack in Afghanistan. Violence has increased sharply in Afghanistan this year as we approach the 17th anniversary of the U.S. invasion, America's longest war. Charlie D'Agata is in Kabul.
The relentless violence here has only surged since we arrived. 4 attacks in 24 hours have left at least 40 dead. These are just some of the security precautions you have to take when you're traveling anywhere in the capital. Flak jacket, armored car, endless checkpoints. Blast walls have turned parts of Kabul into a fortress. The American University looks more like a maximum security prison, with good reason. After clearing several security checks, we finally arrived at the university that came under attack back in August of 2016. That's when Taliban suspects went on a 10-hour rampage, killing 16 students, faculty, and police. Student Brijna Musasai watched them blast their way onto the compound.
I heard them yelling at other students, and they throwing grenades in the building.
She couldn't run from the gunman because of a limp from childhood polio.
When he shot me, I started to pretend dead because I thought this is the only thing I can do myself. And after that, he shot me again to make sure I'm dead.
A university trustee sponsored a trip for medical treatment in Dallas. She returned to school last year and graduated in May with honors. But she fears more than ever for her life.
When I leave home, I know that I might not go back home alive.
Because the situation here has deteriorated even further since the attack. The threats are everywhere. Insider attacks against Afghan forces, insider attacks against U.S. forces. Here in Kabul, despite checkpoints like that, nobody seems capable of stopping Taliban or ISIS from striking the capital. 17 years and an estimated $1 trillion U.S. tax dollars later, yet real security here still remains out of reach. Jeff, what we didn't see today driving around Kabul is U.S. troops. It's not part of their mission here to patrol Kabul. And as we've seen this week, they'd be potential targets.
Charlie D'Agata, who's spending all week inside Afghanistan. Charlie, thanks. Officials in New York, New Jersey, and New Mexico announced new investigations today into the handling of sex abuse allegations in the Catholic Church. Missouri recently announced a similar investigation. This follows a report last month by a Pennsylvania grand jury alleging decades of abuse of more than 1,000 children by more than 300 priests. In one case, 5 sisters were abused by the same priest. Tonight, in Eye on America, 4 of those sisters share their stories with Nikki Batiste.
How old were you when your alleged abuse began?
13.
I was 10 when I met him.
I was in the 1st grade. I was under 2 years old. I didn't realize it until I was 12. I was watching a movie of a priest molesting altar boys, and that's kind of the day that I put it together. I never knew what the word molest meant.
These are the Fortney sisters. Patty, Laura, Teresa, Carolyn, and one other were sexually abused by their pastor in Enhale, Pennsylvania, beginning in the early 1980s.
He was a very sick man.
Father Augustine Gela was a trusted family friend, a grandfatherly figure, a regular at meals where he often said grace.
He would give us candy, he would take us out, and just constantly giving. Gave us stuff, bought us clothes, bought us toys, anything we wanted.
The Fortneys believe Gela was grooming the girls. 13-year-old Patty was molested as her little sisters looked on.
He was constantly hugging me in front of them, kissing me in front of them, trying to put his tongue in your mouth. He needed to know my cup size. I would continually remind myself, he's my priest. He's my priest. He's the mediator between God and man. This is okay.
I mean, even
at
the table, things happened in front of my parents' face that they couldn't see.
Father Gela retired in 1989, but the family still saw him.
My niece actually found a box that had some pornography in it and nude photos of Carolyn.
Their parents, Ed and Patty Fortney, immediately reported the photos to the Harrisburg Diocese in 1992. Another sister called Child Services, who then contacted the police. Father Gela was arrested and charged with child pornography and sexual assault. He died awaiting trial.
Ed, you were there today when I was talking with your daughters, hearing some of these details for the first time. What was that like as a father?
It's bewildering. I got to contemplate on it probably for the next 10 years to figure out where the hell I went wrong, you know.
How did you not know?
We were on the inside. We didn't know. I mean, can you honestly think that if we knew, we would let something like that happen to our babies?
The Fortney family did settle 2 civil lawsuits with the Harrisburg Diocese. The sisters say they never discussed their abuse as children because they didn't understand what was happening.
For a long time, it's not that we weren't close, we just didn't know each other. Right. So there's always this big elephant in the room when we were together because there was so much going on that we didn't want to talk about it.
Today, they're slowly telling their stories to each other, with the support of their entire family.
Why did you decide to share your story?
We knew we needed to do more to help prevent this from happening to other people.
I believe that there's going to be change. I pray that there's going to be change because nobody should live like this with this pain. Nobody should. It's every day. But I have hope now. I do.
The Bishop of the Harrisburg Diocese told CBS News today that he sends his deepest apologies and prayers to the Fortney family. The sisters say they have never received a direct apology, and Jeff, all 4 women left the Catholic Church.
Extraordinary reporting tonight, Nikki Batiste. Thank you. Up next here in the CBS Evening News, we remember Burt Reynolds.
These digestive issues can start in the colon and may be signs of an imbalance of good bacteria. Philips Colon Health Caps have this unique combination of probiotics to help replenish good bacteria. Get 4-in-1 symptom defense.
Also try our delicious new probiotic gummies. Brad's been looking forward to this all week. But how will his denture cope with a steak? Luckily for Brad, this isn't a worry because he's discovered Super Polygrip. It holds his denture tight and helps give him 65% more chewing power, leaving Brad to dig in and enjoy the tastiest of T-bones. Super Polygrip, helping you enjoy the foods you love.
Oi! Gotcha!
Quick! The Quicker Picker-Upper! Bounty picks up messes quicker and is 2 times more absorbent than the leading ordinary brand. Bounty, the Quicker Picker-Upper. On a budget? Try new Bounty Essentials.
Family taco night is a heartburn night you can plan for, but surprise pizza at the office means heartburn you didn't expect. Zantac works when you need it. It relieves or prevents heartburn in as little as 30 minutes and lasts up to 12 hours. Zantac. Eat your way, treat your way.
Would you like for your loved ones to never have to worry about money for the rest of their lives? It's the Publishers Clearinghouse $2,500 a week forever prize. Win, and you get $2,500 a week for your life. Then after that, someone you choose gets $2,500 a week for their life. Leave the ultimate legacy for your family. Go to PCH.com and enter now. That's PCH.com. October 26th, you could win $2,500 a week forever.
Burt Reynolds died today at 82. He was one of the biggest celebrities and sex symbols of the 1970s and 80s. Cannonball Run made Reynolds the highest paid actor in Hollywood. More now from Jim Axelrod.
I forgot to tell you, I'm running blocker for 400 kids on illegal fruit.
Burt Reynolds owned the Hollywood box office starting in the late 1970s. The top-grossing star each year from 1978 to 1982.
Please get them on.
Born in 1936, Reynolds was raised in Florida's Palm Beach County. A high school football star, he played a year at Florida State until a knee injury ended his career. He then turned to acting.
Get back to Don before dark. We better get started.
Enjoying some success in 1960s TV, including a short stint on Gunsmoke, before his breakout role as Lewis Medlock in Deliverance in 1972. Well, he would later write it was his best movie, proving to himself and the public that he could act. His decision to pose nude on that bearskin rug in Cosmo 3 months before the movie opened hurt him with critics. Reynolds would later say the centerfold was one of his biggest mistakes ever. His ladies' man on-screen persona was matched by a colorful history off-screen. Relationships with Dinah Shore, his Smokey and the Bandit co-star Sally Field, and a marriage to Lonnie Anderson made him a tabloid favorite. He would go on to score an Oscar nomination as a porn director.
Dust Combs, Exotic.
1997's Boogie Nights. Burt Reynolds. But even in later years, when he would get a ribbing from Saturday Night Live,
Burt Reynolds, where did you come from?
I've been here all the time.
Burt Reynolds was clear, looking back over his life and career. There's one thing they can never take away, he wrote. Nobody had more fun than I did. Maybe more impressive than the list of the roles he did take are the roles he said he did not. He once wrote he passed on Han Solo in Star Wars, Jack Nicholson's astronaut in Terms of Endearment, and John McClane, the cop Bruce Willis played in Die Hard. Nobody had more fun than he did. That's pretty good, right? All right, Jim, thanks. Coming up next here, a deadly mass shooting in a bank in Ohio.
Sometimes bipolar 1 disorder can make you feel unstoppable.
Now, what do you have down there?
But mania, such as unusual changes in your mood, activity, or energy levels,
Yes.
can leave you on shaky ground. Help take control by talking to your doctor. Ask about Vraylar. Vraylar is approved for the acute treatment of manic or mixed episodes of bipolar 1 disorder in adults. Clinical studies showed that Vraylar reduced overall manic symptoms. Vraylar should not be used in elderly patients with dementia due to increased risk of death or stroke. Call your doctor about fever, stiff muscles, or confusion, which may mean a life-threatening reaction, or uncontrollable muscle movements, which may be permanent. Side effects several weeks. High cholesterol and weight gain, high blood sugar, which can lead to coma or death, decreased white blood cells, which can be fatal, dizziness upon standing, falls, seizures, impaired judgment, heat sensitivity, and trouble swallowing may occur. You're more than just your bipolar 1. Ask about Vraylar. Come here, babe.
Nasty nighttime heartburn?
Yeah, I obviously
Try
don't
new
have that amount
Alka-Seltzer
for
PM
everything.
Gummies, the only fast, powerful heartburn relief plus melatonin so you can fall asleep quickly.
Oh, what a relief it is.
Why did I want a Crest 3D White Smile? Dinner date. Meeting his parents' dinner date. So I used Crest. Crest 3D White removes 95% of surface stains in just 3 days for a whiter smile that will win them over. Crest. Healthy, beautiful smiles for life.
Salonpas. We're the world leader in medicinal pain patches. Our latest innovation, Salonpas Lidocaine, using hydrogel-based technology with the maximum strength lidocaine you can buy without a prescription. Salonpas Lidocaine. Nothing is proven stronger or more effective against pain.
All right, I brought in new Max Protein
to give you the protein you need.
With less of the sugar, you don't.
Okay, what you say is
30 grams of protein and 1 gram of sugar. New Ensure Max Protein and 2 great flavors.
1 second.
COPD makes it hard to breathe. So to breathe better, I go with a Noro.